Fill your thirst beside the river. Wash the journey from your hand. Feel the comfort flow inside you. Come this far, you understand.
Hi, welcome to Healing Outside the Box. I'm Rosemary Lachance, a Reiki energy healer, a spiritual advisor, and spiritual teacher.
Hi, and I'm Carla Augustyn, the co-host.
Tonight we are continuing our Life Explained series, which will give you food for thought information about spirituality based on the teachings of Hans Wilhelm from his series. We will play one or two different DVDs and then have dialogue about it. We encourage you to call or email us or write to NHTV with your questions, and we will answer them on the show or privately if you prefer. This is not a religious show, and no matter what religion or belief you follow, the information we give you will only enhance your beliefs. We do not try to convince you of anything. This series is recorded and will be shown in your area on your local public service cable network. Please contact them for dates and times.
If you have a group that you think would be interested in what we have to offer, we are available to come to your group and teach from this series. We will give you our contact information at the end of the show. Please visit Rosemary's or Hans's website, where you'll find a wealth of information about our show and the series. Our shows are now available for you to watch on YouTube for free. Just go on YouTube and type in Healing Outside the Box to make your choices. We are constantly adding new shows, so keep checking back. We're also on Facebook under Healing Outside the Box. Please like our page for the latest information about our show. We hope you enjoy the show.
Okay, tonight is show number 208. It's from the Life Explained series, and the title is The Amazing Earth School. And as soon as the control room is ready, they will play the video for us to watch.
Hi, I'm Hans Wilhelm. In my video called Why Are We Here?, we explored the reason for our life here on Earth. We saw that Earth is not our final home, but a school or a college for souls to learn to love again. Today I will go a little deeper into this school curriculum. We will see how we can make the most of this very short visit, so when we leave our physical body behind, we can graduate with honors.
As you have seen in my other videos, we are all spiritual beings on our way home to God. And as souls, we are slowly moving through the purification spheres toward that spiritual home. To speed up our journey, we have been given the unique opportunity of short incarnations into a physical body onto planet Earth. In other words, with great likelihood, we have been here many times before in what is called the cycle of reincarnation. Now let's assume that this here is our soul, and we are somewhere here in the lower purification spheres. Why would we want to incarnate into a physical body here on Earth? It has a lot to do with our karma, the law of consequences. Karma is everything that we have done against the law of love, all our negative sensations, thoughts, words, deeds, passions, our pressing human desires, and so on. Here in the purification spheres, it takes much longer to clear up any karma, because our perception of time is very different here. Furthermore, all the negativity that we have once caused others will be felt here by us more intensely, because we do not have the earthly body that usually buffers any blows and pain. But here on Earth, we have natural healing methods as well as painkillers that can reduce such pain. But most of all, on Earth, we can incarnate and be together with other souls with whom we have some karmic ties and to whom we want to give love, support, help, and service. Most souls who decide to come here to this Earth College stay only for less than 800,000 hours. Before they come, they discuss their future life with their guardian spirit, who informs them about the lessons they will learn, but also about possible pitfalls, the opportunities, the difficulties, and so on. But some souls are not so patient. They are so eager to continue reliving their past earthly incarnation, passions and pleasures, that they push themselves into another incarnation. They are unfortunately poorly prepared as to what they might encounter in their new life in college earth. So now let's assume we were well prepared by our guardian spirit and have fully agreed to incarnate into a human body here in college earth. As we leave the spiritual spheres, we are going through what is commonly called the veil of forgetfulness. Everything about our spiritual past and our true spiritual identity will less and less be part of our conscious memory. Why is that so? Because we need to be completely free of any old stuff and tragedies of the past when we face our daily challenges. Can you imagine we would remember all the mess that we have caused in past lifetimes? Such memory would simply paralyze us too much to function in this world. Unfortunately, forgetting who we are and from where we came has a very nasty side effect. We think we now are the center of the universe and everything must rotate around us. This is the origin of our bloated ego. So here we are now in our earthly spacesuit, which is a physical body for our soul. Always good to remember that we are not a body, we only live in this body. Now, what is then the daily lesson plan here in college earth? What is our prime purpose of being here? The first lesson is freedom, because God is freedom. We learn freedom through self-recognition, freedom from anything that binds us. That is, everything that does not correspond with God's all-forgiving love and all-embracing mercy. This can be persistent unkindness, unwillingness to forgive, ruthlessness, selfishness, negative habits, addictions, and all limiting and stressful beliefs and thoughts, and much, much more. But it also includes our karma. We need to undo and dissolve all negative karma. As mentioned in my video on how the planets rule us, our karma is stored in the huge causal computer of the stars and planets that make up the material and fine material cosmoses. These repository stars and planets are in constant movement, and when they reach a certain position, they download portions of our karma back to us on Earth. These portions are carefully attuned to the strengths of our soul. These downloads are building blocks that make up a good chunk of our days from moment to moment. It is like a mighty current of energy which brings to each one of us what is relevant to us today to recognize and clear up. Every moment, every second, every minute and every hour of our day is carefully orchestrated for us. Our various events throughout the day are basically nothing other than reproductions of our own past productions. Think about it. What we have once sown is now coming back to us. This can be anything from small sensations, feelings, thoughts, to pain, illness, blows of fate, and so on. These are the negative aspects that we once fed into the huge causal computer. The law of karma is an ironclad law of the purification spheres. But nothing is too heavy that it couldn't be lightened and dissolved with God's love and mercy, because God's love is the highest energy, and everything else is of lower frequency. The highest frequency influences all lower frequencies and can transform them. Now we also understand why every day is so very different to every human being around the world. Every moment of the day is uniquely tailored for each person to become free again. So the person who cuts us off in the morning traffic is no accident. The disparaging comment by our co-worker is no accident. The unexpected text message is no accident. The argument in our family is no accident. The disturbing news on television are no accident. Everything happens exactly according to plan, and our prime task here is to clear up and what radiates to us from moment to moment. The law of grace can dissolve all this karma, but we have to learn the lesson first before we ask for grace and divine help. The key is forgiveness. Once we recognize our mistakes and truly repent from the heart, our negative behavior, and purify it through restitution, forgiving and asking for forgiveness, we will be dissolved in our soul and also in the causal computer. But there's also the law of projection, also called the law of correspondence. It simply says that whatever pushes our buttons in the outside world is something unloved and unresolved within us. Take, for instance, the TV example I gave earlier. When we are getting very upset about some news about wars, our first question should always be, where am I at war within myself? Or, where am I personally at war with others in my thoughts, words, and actions? This should give us some food for thoughts, if we really want to get to the bottom of this. So all these daily building blocks that are coming back to us from the causal computer are karma, karmic relationships, unloving components, habits, characteristics, as well as mirrors to help us clear up everything that is still unloved, unforgiven, or unresolved in our soul. I'd like to mention one other form of karma that comes back to us and can severely influence us. That are our thoughts, all our persistent and unloving thoughts. All thoughts are energy, and no energy ever gets lost. They eventually come back to us and can totally occupy our mind for hours and days and influence how we feel. A typical example is somebody who has upset us, and in our mind we are keeping an inner dialogue of what had happened and what we should have said, what we did say, or will be saying to him. Such a thought dialogue can go on for a very long time, and as we are totally absorbed in this thought bubble, we are completely missing all the other various daily building blocks that come to us from moment to moment via the day's energy. And there is one other danger or risk we take when we incarnate here on earth. That are the negative forces or souls that want to feed on us. They are real. There can be earthbound souls who have only a tiny amount of life energy left and are in desperate need of energy from others. They use fear and suffering to get these energies. You can learn more about them in my videos on spirit possession, on evil, and on the Luciferian doctrine. Now, all this makes Earth a very tough school for tough souls. It can really look overwhelming, all that heavy stuff coming at us. But this is nothing compared to the gigantic amount of unlimited help for every challenge. Help that each and everyone has access to 24/7. That is the whole divine heavens trying to assist us in so many ways. Naturally, we all have our guardian spirit who has not left us and whose prime goal is to assist us through these tasks. But most of all, there is the Father, Mother God, who wants us back into the pure heavens as quickly as possible. For this reason, we are given what is commonly called the God spark and Christ spark located in our soul. Remember, our body is the temple of God. Without this immeasurable, powerful, extra dose of divine energy, we could not make it here because the negative influences are so powerful. So there is a huge variety and amount of divine help available to give us strength and to transform any negativity. But we have to ask for that help and also ask for guidance if we don't understand the messages or signals of the day. And the second lesson of every day is love and service. Every encounter throughout the day is our opportunity to love. That is basically the only lesson that we have to relearn, to love again. And when we love, we also are open to selfless service to others. And these others are not just other human beings who we know and care about. No, it means every human being. also every animal, plant, and mineral kingdom like Mother Earth. All situations and interactions with others we find ourselves in throughout the day are also part of this carefully orchestrated school called daily life. Again, the prime purpose is to reawaken our unconditional, unlimited, and all-inclusive love potential within us, as well as being of service to others. And Earth is a perfect place where our human weakness and limitations can be transformed into strength and certainty through the application of love. For this we need the interaction with other people. And the best motivation for our inner work is our love for God, the Father, as it is directly connected to our love for our fellow men and women. Love for God can only be achieved by loving everyone. There is absolutely nothing and no one who cannot be transformed and changed by love. Let us also remember that our love for God and fellow humans can substantially improve our own life and living conditions. Loving brings everything into a higher vibration or frequency. It lifts everything, including our own life in every respect. You and my lesson is to love, to love, to love, to love, and nothing else. And love always includes loving oneself, forgiveness, and helping and service to others. Another great help is the golden rule, do unto others as you wish them do unto you. That is a very practical guidance to learn the lessons the day brings. Whenever we make the right decision, we feel the joy and improvement in life that comes from working with the divine laws. I personally also found the old Hawaiian teaching of Ho'oponopono a great way to get started. By saying the following 4 sentences quietly in our mind: I am sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. We say this to every human being we encounter. The important thing is to say it with deep conviction, and if that is difficult, we can ask the one who dwells within us to give us unlimited help and strength. Now can we better understand that this amazing drama which we are involved in day by day is originated by ourselves and for ourselves. Nothing ever happens to us, only for us. Therefore, by taking 100% responsibility for whatever happens to us and no longer blame others or circumstances, we are improving our life and future.
So now you know why I make these videos. Like everybody else, I have to keep reminding myself that my life is a part of an intense curriculum of lessons to which I have agreed to prior my birth. But the most important lesson for all of us is to love unconditionally, unlimited, and all-inclusively. There are many books on the subject, but my favorite is Live the Moment by Gabriele. It goes in great detail about everything I have discussed in this video. You can find this little book with its green cover on Amazon. I'm looking forward to seeing you again soon.
There's a lot
There's
there,
a lot in there.
I know, and I'm sure you have a lot of questions.
Yes.
And I'm going to do my best to answer them for you because Hans and I studied together and coming from the same place. Mm-hmm. So.
All right. Let's just begin with what is karma.
What is karma?
Yeah. I really don't think I ever fully get that.
A lot of people don't. Karma has gotten a bad name, a bad rap. People think karma means God's punishing you. What you did to someone, you're gonna get punished for it. No. Karma is something that you chose before you came into the world for your mission in life. You chose what was going to happen to you. Let's say in a past life, the only thing that comes to my mind is you couldn't stand fat people. People who were overweight. You thought that they were stupid and that they could have done that better if they wanted to, and it was all their fault. And so what if they had problems? Eating wasn't the solve. You were just so against it. And everything else, you're not too bad, you passed over, and you still passed over with that thought. And the angels try to tell you and say, you know, there's more to that than, and they try to explain. You say, no, I just don't, I can't get it. So then comes the question, would you like to go back and have that problem with eating or your body?
See how it
you know,
feels.
yeah. Would you like to go back and try and do that? So it's the only way you're going to learn. And you go, well, if that's the only way I'm going to learn, then I have to do it, I guess, because if I don't, I won't get past this. So you come back as someone with a problem with eating, or your body retains fat and whatever.
Yes.
And you live your life through that. That's one form of karma, you know. If you were mean to animals really bad, you may come back in this lifetime. An animal may really bite you and hurt you, or may kill you. You know, whatever you did to another person comes back to you. And you agree to, in some way, experience that so that you could know what it felt like to have that happen.
So you can advance.
Yes.
That's the thing, to advance spiritually.
Yes,
to
so you
advance,
can go on, and you
so
can...
you can keep going on.
Yeah.
And, all right, so it is something you agree to. And I think
Yes.
that's the hiccup sometimes, is that it sounds like you don't. It's just you're going to get punished.
Yeah, it's just such good... Right.
You know,
and that's
because
not...
you didn't figure it out in this life.
So people hate
You know.
that word karma. They hate
Yeah, I know. I don't like it sometimes, the way it's tossed around.
Yeah.
Now, so the karma, where does it originate? Is it originate with our very first life? Or, because we're not, when we're souls, however that started, we're perfect, right? Our souls are perfect. So does the karma not begin until our first life? Like,
Yeah, our first life. Yeah, oh, it's not on the other side. No.
okay, so it's
in
not on
heaven,
the other side.
there's no
so
karma in
souls
heaven.
don't come here, don't necessarily have karma unless they've been here.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, and usually
Okay.
souls that haven't been here before don't usually come unless coming here to help someone. But they have to be very careful. The temptations on this planet, which is run by the Dark One, so to speak, those temptations are very great. And you could get rid of your karma, but you could pick up new karma. Or someone who comes to teach, they know that what the danger is, you know, and so they're told, this is what can happen. You know, you come with a clean soul, and then you pick up karma. It's just what happens.
So the
It's
first
really-
life is always really tough then.
The first one, yeah, and
yeah.
there's no one. I don't think there's anyone here that came for the first time.
And on this planet
Yeah,
now, yeah.
no. By now, I mean, this has been
Right.
billions of years now. We can't imagine. There's no time doesn't exist on the other side. Okay, it just exists here. So you can clear up. Maybe you spend your whole life clearing up one thing when you had maybe four, and so you'll come back for another one. And sometimes you can't clear it up on the other side. In in other words, people think you die, and if you're really good, you go right to heaven. You don't go right to heaven,
Yes.
because you're never that good here. You wouldn't be here. So you go. There's different levels that you go through. 49 actually, different levels
The
before you get to
purification
heaven.
spheres,
Purification
that he
spheres.
calls, yeah.
We did
Purification
we
spheres.
did a 4-part show on that called Astral City, which really helped to explain it. You know, so that's what it's all about. I hope that answered the question about karma.
No, it does. I mean, he says we carry it forward. So there's no getting rid of it until you actually basically heal it, right?
Till
heal
you
yourself,
realize,
really.
yes, what you did wrong, that, you know, or
Yeah.
sometimes someone will come and all they'll have to do is, like you say, I can't tell you exactly what everyone did to deserve what they got, because that's private between them and God and you know, their angels and so forth. But if a person passes over due to a what was the latest the latest casualty that happened in the world, an airplane with 98 people who passed over. That wasn't a coincidence. That wasn't the airline's fault. That wasn't anybody's fault. They were meant to go. And if they weren't going to go on that plane, they would have went somewhere on this planet. They would have passed over. But it happened to be a group thing that they all went together. Who knows? I can't tell you what it was.
Right.
But just
right.
knowing the fact that you were not punished, they were not punished, it wasn't just for chance. Everyone dies on time. Period. So
Right. Do you think that some people take more on than others when they come to Earth for Earth School? Do you think some just take on more?
it depends on how advanced they are.
Is it always, okay, so it's always you're coming just because of the existing karma.
Maybe a few things that you have to. I mean,
Okay.
I'm sure
It
it's
could be
not
a
one. In my
couple.
lifetime, myself personally, I'm sure I had a lot
Right.
of different things to learn. So I know that. So I had to experience these different things so that I could understand how other people felt. And so you may have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things you want to accomplish, and if you just accomplish a few, that's okay, because you can come back.
Right. But
So-
if you're working on some things and then you kind of pick up a bad habit while you're here, then that goes forward.
Yeah, you'll have to work that out. And
So you have to keep working
if
it
you don't
out.
get rid of it by the time you leave, you'll have to go.
You're going to have to keep
come back and do it again.
Keep
yeah.
working. Okay. And so do we always want to, or do we decide?
Well, sometimes
do we
could-
always want to come back and work it out, or do we
No.
decide I've had enough? I'll just work it out over
there,
here, over
take
there.
a break.
Yeah, take a break.
First thing we do when we get over there is take a break.
Just we take a break.
Because
Yeah,
it's heavy here, especially
It's a
these
lot.
days.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's very tired. I know I need a big rest when I get over there.
Yeah.
And then there's those places where you go for that.
Mm-hmm.
You rest, you do whatever and everything until the time comes when you say, okay, now the angels come to you after you've rested and you feel good. Do you want to? This is what you need to work out, and you know that you do. Or if you don't, they explain it to you. You learn a lot in those places. And then they say, now, do you want to go back for an incarnation to do this or this? Or do you want to stay here and try to work it out here?
yeah.
Or go to this plane? But then again, I think I told you once before, you'll go to a planet where there's people like you. They probably made the same mistakes. So they're not going to tell you were wrong. They're not going to rub you in the wrong. It's going to take a long time to learn. But coming here with all these different kinds of people,
Right,
and
different
we all
vibrations,
know how
right.
they aggravate us. The people will aggravate us, but that's the reason, because they're showing us ourselves. So
Hans says that we move through purification spheres on our way home to God. So this is kind of picking up what you said in the beginning.
Yes.
So when we die, we go into a sphere. We don't necessarily meet God, right?
No, we don't meet God.
We don't meet God, right?
If people think they see God or Christ, it's just a very high angel. You don't see God till you get to heaven. And Christ, I don't know.
And I would think you see Christ. I would think. I mean, he's available here.
Maybe, yeah. He's been here. He
He's
was here
been
on
here,
earth, and he's here
yeah.
again in spirit now.
Right.
Which means
that's
working
an
through
interesting.
us.
Yeah, that's something interesting to think about. So you have to go through all the purification
No,
spheres.
you don't have to go through all of them.
No, but to get to heaven.
No,
basically.
you don't have whatever you
No.
need. You may skip a few because you may learn so well
Oh,
that you
okay.
won't have to go to the next
So you can
level. You may
jump.
be on level 3 and you've really done a wonderful job. You can go up to level 5 or 6 or something. You don't know.
You could jump, but
Yeah, you could jump.
But you have to raise up
Yeah.
until that last one. What'd you say? 49? There's 49 of them. Is that what you said? Or
49.
49. Okay, so you have to get to 49 and then move.
Yeah.
Then you're there, basically.
You're basically, then
then
you can go through the
basically
gates to heaven.
you're there. Wow.
So, and there are some people that are really, really get it. They really haven't done too much. They've come maybe basically to help people. They had a few little things to work out. So when they pass over, they've already learned. They may go to a very high plane. They may go up right up next to heaven, and they may even go up there. But those
Really?
people are far and few between. You could say some of the greats that have passed on, like Mother
Right,
Teresa, they say she was
right.
a saint. There's no such thing as a saint, okay? Because God loves everyone the same. Angels are people who have never incarnated.
Right.
That's how they stay the way they are, okay? But we were all angels at one time until we fell. And that's another long story.
Yeah, no, I know. That's on another video of his.
Not yet.
Of it, so
I
that
can
was
tell
it.
you that, but I
Yeah.
won't. Not now.
Right.
People,
right. That's
when
it.
I know that's time, then we'll do that.
All right, so he does say before we come, we meet with the guide who tells us lessons to be learned and possible pitfalls and that type of thing. But we have input.
Yes.
Correct? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I wasn't getting that
We have
impression from
input.
what he was saying.
We talk with them.
Yeah,
and
we have input into this. So
Right.
because we really do have free will. So we don't have to do anything. I mean,
No.
we don't
No.
have to come.
God never forces anything on us.
We never force. and
Through
that's
any of
something-
his angels or anyone who talks, he doesn't force, through his angels and his hires.
Right.
People force things on people, but
Right.
they never do. God never does. He gave us free will.
He gave us free will.
It's like you say,
Yeah.
why doesn't he stop them from hurting the animals like they do? I mean, we
Right.
treat animals horrendously because he gave us free will.
He gave us free will.
And we have to learn that this is so wrong, what we do with them. We have to learn it. And if he were to just stop it all, we wouldn't have learned anything.
We won't learn anything.
We have to know it in our heart. And so I'm sure everyone in this world has at one time or another gotten something, finally understood something they couldn't understand before. They finally, oh, now I understand. Well, that's the way he wants us to do. Now I understand. What do we learn if we don't understand? You know what I'm saying? In school, what do we learn if we don't understand?
Right. Right.
So that's the same thing.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
why this is one big school.
we have to fully get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To get it.
Yeah,
That makes you a
fully
better
get it.
person.
Right. Right. He says that some push themselves too soon and are unprepared for Earth life. Can't the guide prevent that? If they can't?
No.
It's because of free will, again?
Again, for
So
free
if
will.
someone says, I'm out of here, I'm ready.
Yeah, I
know
wanna
I'm
go.
ready. Even if everybody, even if all the other spirits are saying, no, you're not ready, and they,
Well, look around you at some of the people on this planet.
I was going to say, what does that look like?
They're just concerned with themselves, totally self-absorbed, self-centered, completely. A lot of criminals and people who, you see it happen. You see how the people act. You see how they want to kill and how they want to maim and how they want to bomb and how they rule countries and how they do this and that. They were warned before, but they didn't listen. So
Oh, that's an interesting
Yeah.
Take on that. That would explain why.
And all the people who need to live that so that they could live under a ruler like that so that they could learn, gravitate towards that because that's their vibration. They're drawn to those, that's their vibration. Okay? Now, that brings to mind, I don't know if we talked about that, the immigrants people are trying to escape their countries because terrible things are happening there.
Right, right.
But that's where they asked to go. They asked to go to that country. Or they were drawn there because of their vibration. And now they want to leave it all and they want to come to a place where they don't have to worry about that. But then what did they ever learn? They didn't learn anything. They just come here and say, take care of me, help me, take care of me, help me. You got to help yourself. Fix your country. You elected these people to do these things for you. All right? Fix your country. Don't come here and make this another country like you came from, because that's what will happen. But people are not thinking about that. They're all getting in the spotlight thinking, I want to be so good, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do that, and sanctuary, You're not helping. You're not helping those people. It's making the problems worse for them.
That's an
'Cause they're
interesting
not learning.
take on
Yeah,
it.
they're not learning anything. That's where you asked to be. You were there because you wanted to be there.
Right.
Now you don't want to be there because it's too hard.
But couldn't that be part of their journey? I mean, couldn't that be part of they were supposed to figure out they didn't want something and then kind of pick themselves up and I'm going to go get a different life because this land doesn't agree with me and I want a different life for myself and my kids.
It doesn't agree with them because they're not getting what they need. They're not getting their needs met. Enough food, enough clothes,
Right.
enough money.
Right.
Those are not reasons.
Right.
So if you're like that, there's so much work to be done there. Stay there if you awaken help other people that are living there. Try to change the leaders. Try to get people together to get good people in there. Make your country nice. Clean your house. Make it nice. Put the flowers or do this, in just an analogy.
Right.
And make it a nice place. You don't run away and say, okay, I'm done with that now. I can leave. No. You learned? Okay, now teach other people. Help other people to learn. Don't just run away. You're there because you asked to be there. Or you're there because that's where your vibration attracted you to. And when they warned you, they said, look, if you make this other incarnation before you know what's going on, before you know what you're going to do, this is where you're going to end up. Oh, that's okay. As long as I get back, I'll be all right. When they tell you and you won't listen. Okay. So when everything is right, you'll go to that underdeveloped country and suffer what you've suffered. But then you get I want out. Running away doesn't help. You see? But people probably won't believe me about all that. But if it's good old common sense thinking too. If people would just use common sense, but I don't know.
Now, well, when he says every moment of our day is orchestrated for us, who's doing the orchestrating? Like who's orchestrating? Is it all the guides and angels and
the guides and angels, the teachers? Every day is a day to learn.
Right.
Your lessons are there for you. When you get up, there's your lessons. You should get up each day with gratitude that you have another day, asking for help, being thankful for all that you have, and go through your day and see what comes to you. If you go that with an open mind, instead of an aggravating mind, which you're drinking your coffee that's so loaded with caffeine and running out the door and making yourself nervous in the car and the work and the traffic and this and one thing another, well, you're sure not going to be prepared to learn any lessons,
Right.
But it's the way of the world
so
these
frenzy.
days.
Yeah, so to be present.
Live in the moment. That book that he said, live the moment. If you live the moment constantly, you'll be aware of what's going on around you.
Yeah.
And you'll see the lesson, and you say, oh, wait, that's something maybe I should learn or know.
Well, he breaks it down. I mean, it's pretty simple, basically, to be conscious of. The first lesson is freedom, right? Isn't that what he said? Freedom. And then the second lesson is love and service. So if you wake up in the morning, and yes, it's a reality, you've got to get going, you've got to get kids to school, you've got to go to work, whatever. It's all a reality. But if you can wake up in the morning thinking, okay, I'm going to be free, like I'm going to try to be free of negative thoughts today. I'm going to try to be free of getting so frustrated with my coworker, so if you kind of focus on that, focus on love, and then focus on service, what I can do for other people. It's, in a way, a simple formula. In a way.
It sounds simple, but it's not, because of all the things that come at you and hit you.
It's hard.
Today. Yeah,
That's the thing.
Very
it's
hard.
very hard.
That's why people learn to meditate. If you meditate in the morning before you go to work,
Just
you
get
can get
still.
up a little bit earlier, so you can have 10 minutes if that's all you have to just center yourself. And then in the afternoon, say around lunchtime, you're starting to come apart the seams. These springs are starting boing, boing, boing. Go in the bathroom, shut the door in the stall.
Yeah,
meditate. Sit on the toilet and
sit
meditate
on the toilet.
with your pants
I
up.
agree. Yeah,
and just meditate.
Yeah.
And you know that they always say when people get upset, breathe. You ever see that on TV? Breathe. Breathe. Take
a nice
about 5
deep
breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth. Do that. Breathe. Get yourself centered. And sit there for a little while and picture
So
something
important.
beautiful. And get yourself all nice and centered again. And then go back out there to that world. And when you get home from work, you might take a few minutes to breathe. Just breathe.
Just breathe.
And before you go to bed at night, you could say, okay, how was my day? What did I do this? Did I do this good? Did I do that bad? Oh, I didn't do that so good. What did I learn anything today? Did I make things worse? Go through your day.
Yeah, how could I have done
and then
better?
Before you go to, then you sit and you meditate for a while. Just stay quiet and gather it all together and breathe. Then go about the rest of your night and then go to bed, say your prayers and go to sleep. If everyone did that, but,
Well, everybody's
try the
at
best you
different,
can.
everybody's at different stages, right? Like
Right.
he said, we come here, and that's the point of coming here, is that not everybody's on purification sphere 5 or 25 or 45. You know, it's people, the souls are all mixed in, so it makes it tough. It makes it tough. So if you're running into people,
that's right. You know that saying, why do bad things happen to good people?
Right.
They were so good. Yeah, in this lifetime, they learned a lot, so they're doing well. But they still had something they had to make up for. And so it happened. There's nothing in life that is a coincidence. Every single thing happens for a reason. Everything.
And that's why he's saying it's orchestrated. It's to... Is it really to kind of make the most of our time here?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why. So
yes,
we're not just
absolutely.
getting it. It's not just empty getting up. And,
No.
and it's kind of... We have all these spices of life, so to speak,
All these
where
things, yeah.
somebody's honking their horn at us, and then somebody's crabby, and, you know, you're in the slow line at the store. And so all these things are happening for us to learn.
So you're the slow line, and your patience
Yeah.
is being tested.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, and man in front of
Yeah.
you aggravates you. And if you can find a way to talk to him gently, and if you try and he yells at you, okay, did I do that right? What was I thinking? Was I thinking about the man, or was I thinking about myself, that I wanted to get him out of here, so I was talking nice to him? Everything you do, lesson, question your motives. Always question your motives for everything you do.
Right.
Is it self-centered motive,
and
or is it
reflect
a
on it? Yeah.
giving motive?
Right.
Always question your motives.
Right.
That'll help a lot if you can do it honestly.
And they know on the other side.
They're always watching.
They're always watching.
And they're not even, they're around you. They're everywhere.
Yeah,
Your
they're
angels and
everywhere.
guides are
Yeah.
around you, and they're
Yeah.
always with you.
Right.
They won't interfere unless you ask them. And
that's
when you're
the
angry
biggie.
and you're yelling and fighting, you send out these sparks, so they can't even get near you if they wanted to. But when you're thinking loving thoughts, they come closer and they talk to you. You've seen movies like City of Angels. Do you remember that, with Nicolas Cage and all that? And how the man in the airplane tower, the airport tower, was getting nervous because the planes weren't something was going wrong, and all he did was put his hands on his shoulders. And all of a sudden the man was going, I don't know what I'm going to do. And he put the hands on his shoulders, and the man calmed down. And then he went, oh. And then he started, but the man didn't know the angel was helping him. That is exactly like it is.
I'm glad you're bringing that up, because don't you think, I don't think any of us realize how often we are helped
I know.
or protected, taken care of, guided. I mean, I just don't think we know that. And so when we get upset, that somebody's died young, whatever we call young, but when we get upset about that, but I don't think we realize how many close calls we have in life, and we're protected because it's not our time.
It's not right. It's not
our time.
Or it's not for us to get hurt at this time.
Sometimes
or
we
something.
know it, like
Yeah.
if it's a bad car accident, you walk away without a scratch. So sometimes we know there's been divine intervention, but I think lots of times we have no idea
How much we're protected.
how close we come to danger or potential threat or anything like that. I just think we're protected so much.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Even when
Yeah.
a little thing, like I'll walk out of the house with something I'm supposed to bring with me, and I'll get halfway down the walk, and all of a sudden a voice of something in my head will go, you forgot to take this paper. Oh, I go, thank you.
Thank you.
And I go back in.
You always say thank you,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, all the time. Give them credit.
Exactly.
Give them credit. That's who's helping you. Your spirits,
Yeah.
your guides, your angels. They're helping you
Exactly.
in life.
They're always helping us. Everyone is assigned angels, guides, teachers, and animals, spirit animals around us all the time
That's
to
nice.
help us. And everyone has them. Some of them just follow around because the person will not accept any help,
Doesn't
does not
accept help.
believe in them.
And doesn't ask for
Yeah,
it.
nothing, just totally self-centered, self-absorbed. And they waste an incarnation. And they're just going to have to come back more.
Could it be their lesson is to become awakened?
That is their lesson, but they don't become awakened.
But
Until one day they do, and then if they're doing this and just coming back, they will not be coming back. They won't let them come back again, because everything, the planets, everything won't be aligned for them anymore. They won't be able to do it. They'll have to stay in a certain place for a while.
Well, that's interesting. Are you saying that if they're not really trying in this life and just sort of walking through the motions, then
after a while
they won't be allowed to come back.
They allow you for a while because you see how these people are acting on this planet. Some people are just horrendous. But after a while, you're not going to be allowed to come back.
You won't be allowed to come back.
No, because
you're wasting a lot. You're wasting somebody else.
And that vibration. Well, no, that vibration will not be there for you to come.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
All right. So what do you mean by that? The vibration won't be there.
That is as low as you are if you're that kind of a person. Okay, that you won't be able to be born to come into that kind of thing, you know. And then you see, and I'm not necessarily saying, you've seen how parents who are not good at all have these wonderful children. Okay, that's a lesson for the parents if they choose to see it or not. And the opposite, wonderful parents seemingly have a child that just cannot be helped.
Right.
Okay, and that's a lesson for the parents also to learn, and for the child to learn after. So everything is a lesson for someone. All right. We can't know the motive behind every single thing for every single person. We just have to trust and say, well, I don't understand that. If it's for my best interest, help me to understand.
Help me understand. Yeah.
So
right.
And you can't sit in judgment, which you all do, myself included at times. That people just aggravate me. I get so angry.
It's hard, sure.
But I know that part of it is me. I'm not in the right place at the right time. Then at night I go, oh boy, did I ever goof this one up. And I have another chance. You'll have another chance.
You have another chance.
You'll run into them again the next day if you know that.
I think too, though, the more conscious you become, you know, if you're on that journey and you are committed to it, you don't feel good. You know, I mean, if I'm tapping my foot in a long line and getting impatient and sighing, and you know, I don't, afterwards I just don't feel good about that. You know, I just don't want to. It's like, okay, you can do better. Like this wasn't right. You know,
I know.
You know, you can do better.
I have a problem with people who seemingly seem stupid to me. They're just acting stupid. I have such a problem with that. I have everything I can control to not let that get to me, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, we all have those things that we...
Right. And, well, then that, I'm skipping ahead, but the whole, is it law of resistance? You know, whatever pushes your buttons.
Law of correspondence.
Is that law of correspondence? Okay, so whatever
aggravates me about you,
then
I'm the same way, and I don't see it.
I'm the same way.
Remember I told you a story about my mother, last time? Yeah.
Right. So
Once
does that apply to even, like, say you're standing in line and you're being impatient? You know, is that the same thing, or?
You know, it's just impatience.
Being impatient.
It's just impatient. You know, you want to get going, you know, and you're just, that's the way what's that motivation? So, did you ever hear stories people tell you how they're delayed for some reason and they were so angry, but had they gone when that particular time came, they would have gotten an accident? Okay? Something bad would have happened to them. That's another possibility. So, everything, if the people just knew every single day, there's so many lessons to be learned. There's so many things out there to recognize, to see. Help for you.
Right. He says that nothing that occurs is an accident, which we've been talking about. But can't some things be unintended? You know, I mean, nothing's an accident. I don't know how I feel about that. Like, I think, like, overall, the big picture, things have been planned and orchestrated, but what if somebody's not really doing their part, so to speak, you know, because so many free wills are involved.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
it's not all planned.
It's not completely planned.
Oh, it's
right?
not. No, your life isn't planned at all.
Yeah.
You just say, this is what I'd like to do, but how are you going to go about it? What's going to
So
happen?
are they coming up with different circumstances every day?
Who's coming up?
Well, the guides on the other side when it's being orchestrated.
No, people will just be people, and the lessons will happen. Like, okay, if there's going to be a big, if there's a war or things that the people so-called are doing to people, bad things, okay, that wasn't planned. These people just went off the edge, and who will be with them? Only the people who are supposed to be involved with that. You know, and you say, oh, my son went over there and he got killed and he was innocent. Yeah, but see, we all asked for that before we went. It's hard. I know people, I can just hear people out there just saying, oh, no, that's wrong. It doesn't deserve that. It doesn't deserve it.
Right.
How do you know?
Right.
How do you know? Because he's such a good person. All the more reason. If someone's life is cut short, you know what that really means? That's all they had to learn.
That's all they had
That's
to learn.
it. They're going. They don't have to
Yeah.
stay. We think this
They
is so
came for
wonderful here. This isn't
Right.
wonderful at all. Compared to heaven, this is gray. Everything is gray. You know, but our vibration, we see it. We think this is beautiful. Can't compare to what's waiting. Okay, so we just don't know, and I don't know. Go ahead.
No. It's a hard thing. I mean, I think, you know, I do believe that, you know, I do believe that to, you know, for most extent, that, you know, people don't die before their time, unless they decide to jump out of a plane without a parachute kind of thing. I mean, you know, I think you can.
If you want to commit suicide,
I think you can cut your life short.
You can commit
know.
suicide. You can do that. But you know what happens? You come back for another life and continue right where you left off. You'll be brought to that moment when you decide to commit suicide. Maybe different circumstances, but it'll be there. And you have to override it and not commit suicide.
Is
and get
suicide
through.
one that you have to come back for? Do you have to come back and?
Well, nobody has to come back.
Okay, even for suicide,
Yeah,
you don't
have to come back, but you're going to have to learn your lesson
somehow.
Here or there
Yeah.
or wherever.
Right.
And there used to be a big thing that I think the Catholics brought up, the Catholic Church brought up. If you commit suicide, you're going to hell. Not true. There's no hell. Hell is what you make it. There's dark places that you will go to. That movie again, Astral City, explains to you about that. But that's only because you're of your own making. This is your vibration. This is what, you know. There are low spheres on the other side too. Darker spheres, things that were not nice, and you can go to them. But there's no permanent suffering for the rest of your life. There's no God condemns you to a place of you're burning and all. There's nothing like that. That's what religions do to control people.
To control people.
Through fear.
Right.
That's what it is.
Right.
But you will suffer from your own making if you do things that are wrong and bad and hurt people and animals and the beautiful planet, whatever. Nothing that's wrong. And you know when it's wrong, when you do something that's wrong. You're going to have to make that up.
You have to make it up, right.
But when you realize that something that you've done, you finally wake up and you realize this was terrible what I did. And with your heart and soul, you are so sorry. You know, I'm so sorry. Would I do that now? Never in a million years. But I'm so sorry. I feel horrible. You know, I feel so terrible. Okay, then you will not have to do that again. You will not have to make up for it because he said it.
Well, the karma
clean it up. You've cleaned up your life,
right?
Or, the karma stops.
It stops, right?
Yeah.
Because you really did.
Yeah,
you really did.
You're really
learn.
sorry. You're so
really
sorry. And you can't fool God. You can't fool your angels. You can't pretend. Not at all. But if you're, oh my God, I am heartily sorry for having offended thee. Remember that's kind of a nice line. What he means by offended is that I went against the law of love. I went against the law of love. If you try to do everything coming from a loving place, or if you can't even love, just coming from a kindness place or an understanding place, all the positive things that are there. The day you wake up and say to yourself, is this all there is? I'm born. I grew up, I go to school, I go to college, I graduate, I get a job, I get married, I have children, I get a house, a car, this or that, I do this, and I die, and I leave all these things here. All the money, all the things, and that's all there is. That's what I said one day, and I didn't even get that far. Is this all there is? It's not enough. People dying, people are hurt, animals get killed. All these things that happen, it's just, this is not enough. I want to see love. I want to see beauty. I want to see, and that's when you have that spiritual awakening and you say with all your heart and soul, please teach me. I want to know. I want to learn. And that's what I did with all your heart and soul. When you realize this, when you realize life doesn't really make sense that way. Why do good things happen to bad people? Why do bad things happen to good people? Why does a child die at a year old? Why does a seemingly mean person live to be 90? Why is this one blind? This one is deaf. This one is crippled. This one has a... Why does that happen? Why? Because God punishes? God doesn't punish. It happens because it's of their choosing. It's what they wanted to learn in this lifetime. If you could understand that, you would stop getting angry and start getting on with the business of getting back home. And once you do that, you have your spiritual awakening. And then your life will change. Sooner or later, everyone will have it.
Well, you might as well get going on this.
My girlfriend said that to me.
And learn it here, because you're just going to have to do it on the other side anyways.
Exactly.
And then you may be back again. And then,
She said to me, Jeannie, she goes, well, as long as I got to be here anyway, I might as well learn. Exactly what you're saying.
That's
the truth.
You might as well go for it.
That's right.
Yeah.
You might as well say, well, maybe it could be true,
Yeah.
Open a little speck. Maybe it could be true. Maybe I should look into this a little bit more.
Yeah, wanting to know the truth.
Yeah.
Just wanting to know the truth.
We only have a few more minutes.
Yeah.
Is there any more questions?
We
You have a lot
do.
more questions?
Oh, wow.
So we're going to do a part 2 of this one, I think.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Time goes by too fast.
I know. She got her pages and pages.
I had more pages.
Well, what we'll do then, we will do this in the next show in about a month from now, and we will play this again, and we will continue where we left off.
Sounds good.
If you have anything else, we got a couple more minutes.
Well, I think just going with nothing happens to us, only for us. You say that a lot, too.
Say it again.
Nothing happens to us, only for us.
And that reason is our spiritual growth. Everything happens for our spiritual growth.
Everything's our spiritual growth.
Everything.
If you look at it that way, and that's
If you
what I
look at it
think
that way.
shifts the attention on it being negative. Not that person cut me off, on the highway, but what does that mean to me? Like, if you shifted off something happening to you and put it to, well, I sometimes do that. And this must be how I make other people feel when I cut them off.
Yeah, if you cut them off, sure.
So if you kind of have that little discussion with yourself, little dialogue.
Or you could just...
You turn the energy around, don't you?
Yes, you do. Or you could just say, send light to that person.
Yeah, that too.
It has nothing to do with you, what he did.
I don't know what's going on in their life today.
Just send them light instead of getting aggravated and cursing them.
Make sure they get there safely. Make sure they don't hurt anybody. I do the same thing too.
So that's the least that we could do.
Yeah.
All right, it's time. We have to give our information. Wow, it's fast. Okay, for me, it's Rosemary Lachance, 203-627-7966. Email whitebuffalo8@comcast.net, www.rosemarylachance.com. And I have something new here. For information for all these teachings that we do, which is universal life, and to know where it comes from and everything about it, please go on your computer at www.Gabriele, Gabriele, publishing-house.com. Go and do that. It's gonna open your mind. You're gonna have your spiritual awakening when you read these things. And for Carla?
Carla Augustyn at www.carlaaugustyn.com.
Okay. Good night. Mwah. Good night.
Feel the comfort flow inside you. come this far, you understand.